The incredible power of Bardock was able to shake the planet of Beerus. The barrier that Whis placed, Beerus wasn't able to feel the energy of the planet. Warriors were out of danger, Bardock would release his power, and his hair would grow. Instantly, the great light, Bardock's new appearance would be seen. This time, Bardock was able to access Super Saiyan 3, leaving Kakarot surprised. Wow, your power's amazing! I doubt that you'll be able to face me, Father. Although you and your master Whis didn't allow me to train, I was able to analyze his combat style, and I'm able to dodge every one of your father's blows. This is an amazing thing, Kakarot. You'll never be able to beat me if you've only been able to study my combat style, because on the battlefield, even a millisecond of reaction could save your life. And I mean this. Bardock would flash, being able to appear centimeters from Kakarot. That moment he was able to speak, he was surprised to realize there was no one in that place. Kakarot would put his hand on his father's back. Even though it looks stupid, I've been able to analyze your combat style with 99% credibility. You can't catch me off guard. Bardock would be irritated, rushing Kakarot, and both would exchange thousands of blows. Those that Kakarot was able to dodge, he could receive them with incredible defense, not letting him give him damage, so Kakarot would expel a little of his power. He was able to overshadow Bardock's aura completely, and even though Bardock's power was incredible, it didn't compare to that of a god. The great pressure was able to make him fall to the ground as if the gravity was falling on his body. What's this? I can't even move in the slightest. My body weighs so much. Is this the power of a god? The power in which my son's been able to be born, I can't stay behind him. Bardock, in spite of the pressure, would stand, spitting out blood. You've been able to study me completely, my fighting style and skills, but what you'll never be able to study is the resistance of the Saiyan body. Bardock would clench his fists with great power while his whole body would be filled with fur and the power would skyrocket. Wow, this is amazing! I never thought Kakarot was able to force Bardock to use Super Saiyan 4. It's the maximum power of Bardock. It amazes me Kakarot as a child was able to meditate and master the energy that lies inside. A huge explosion from Bardock from Super Saiyan 4 would be seen. Wow, that's amazing! I thought you'd only be able to do the Ozaru-style transformation. You are my father! You should have this transformation. What'd you say? You mean to have the transformation like this? You couldn't get this transformation without the other variants. Of course you can, Father. I don't know if mine or the other transformation, but it is similar to me, so look at the power I was able to get. Kakarot would surround himself with a red aura, and everything would tremble in a brutal way that Bardock with his fur was able to turn over Kakarot's body. After a few minutes, it was possible to observe this new appearance, and his fur was pink, because the energy of the Ultra Ego was combined with that state. Kakarot, in that transformation, possessed the energy of a god of destruction. How was he able to do that? He was able to combine the transformation of Super Saiyan 4 that he was born with. But how was he able to do that? Whis, I don't understand. What's Kakarot good or bad? Since being a child, his whole body could explode from the excess energy, or am I wrong? Of course you're wrong, Gine, because what Kakarot just achieved means his power can go beyond a mere mortal. And because of that, he's been able to adopt a new transformation that his body dominates. Are you trying to tell me Kakarot's power can adapt the new transformation since it needed to evolve? That is correct, but I'm surprised that he could only have that being only 5 years old. The power that Kakarot has awakened is unparalleled. Apparently that state Kakarot possesses is more powerful than mine. I don't have plans to give up. I'll use all my power. Father, I'm ready. Attack me. Use your power, because not having this transformation, I can't contain myself. You better not hold back. I'm sure that I can cause great harm, so you better be prepared, Kakarot. Kakarot's arm was touching Bardock's chest, which he wasn't able to see because Kakarot moved where he was. Damn, what kind of speed is that? If it hadn't been because he touched my chest, I wouldn't have realized I reached as far as me. Kakarot would take a little distance while raising his power to the limit his body could withstand without compromising a speed loss. Heh, this will be interesting. I already want to see with my master's training. I want to see to face Mr. Beerus. Kakarot would stretch out one of his hands, stopping Bardock's blow. Bardock was throwing hundreds of blows, spheres of energy, kicks, but nothing was effective, because Kakarot's power surpassed him abysmally. While Kakarot could see his father's blows, unlike Bardock, he couldn't see Kakarot was able to dodge his blows, and Bardock would recoil. Hell, I believe all the power's been able to increase with that transformation. I have to be able to do something. Bardock sent flying towards Kakarot. Kakarot, with more overwhelming speed, would connect slightly a blow to his neck. But even though he restrained himself, it sent him flying to the planet, destroying everything, while Bardock would lose status as Super Saiyan 4, injured, expelling blood.
Hell no! I haven't been able to contain myself. I'm sorry, Father. I promised you'd try to contain as much as I could, but it turned out to be impossible.
Don't worry, son. I confess that the power you possess is amazing, but I never thought my son would have so much. Bardock would be knocked out, but with the help of Whis, he put him in a recovery pod.
Whis, I noticed that you were able to heal my father with the help of your staff. Why don't you heal him with your staff this time?
I can tell you are very observant. In this capsule, you'll be able to inject a little divine energy, and due to the wounds your father has, this divine water will be able to penetrate his being.
Oh, okay. That means that he's able to recover and able to assimilate the divine energy.
You are very intelligent. But despite your young age, I can see that you, like Kakarot, are good at training and guidance, will be able to overcome Mr. Beerus.
Heh, I appreciate it. I'm sure I can excel all your expectations. I won't let anyone be more powerful than me. I'll make sure of it.
I don't doubt that, since you being here are the two most powerful energies of this vast universe. That's right, in this universe, millions of years ago, they were afraid of the Saiyan gods because the power seemed to have no limits. Because of this, their divine energy was sealed. All the Saiyans remained mortals with great powers, but Kakarot, being a baby, had been born to the power that belonged to those Saiyan gods. Many of them were born with ultra ego or instinct.
Whis, when can we start training? I want to be more powerful, and I know I could do it.
You train with patience first, because if you continue with that instinct, we'll start training when you're 7. Kakarot would keep silent in his base state. On Earth, having not arrived Kakarot, Piccolo Daimaku would arrive as the new ruler, wiping out the entire human race almost completely until 3 ships arrived. Well, so this is Earth. We must cleanse the evil from our hearts. I, the Prince of the Saiyans, know because thanks to becoming more powerful, we'll be on par with Bardock. I agree with you, Prince Vegeta. Well, I promise I'll cleanse my heart of evil that lies in, because I want to become more powerful.
But I keep thinking that my father's able to survive the explosion of Vegeta. This is amazing.
But the trio of warriors would be interrupted by the Emperor of the planet Earth. Now, I don't know who the hell you guys are, but you better do as I command, otherwise I'll finish you off in one fell swoop. Huh, how pathetic. You being of another race superior to Earthlings doesn't mean you're superior to us. At this moment, we're gonna end you so that planet Earth continues to thrive. Piccolo wasn't able to say anything. Vegeta's fist would pierce him, causing blood to spread over the place. I thought you were more powerful of a warrior. You're just a worm. Vegeta would open his hand, making Piccolo explode into hundreds of pieces, and the planet Earth was starting to rebuild everything that Piccolo destroyed. On the planet of Beerus, Kakarot would be training with Whis, while Bardock was meditating in order to control the divine energy. I must control the divine energy. In this method, I can become more powerful. Kakarot, despite possessing the power of the Ultra Ego to travel through his body, he didn't have enough power against Whis. Throughout the multiverse, certain warriors were watching the advance of Kakarot. The power of that child's incredible. He's able to compare himself to the Supreme God at his max power. Currently, only Beerus, the former leader of the Supreme Gods, will be able to keep him aside, as his power grows measurably.
I agree with you, although we must take account that he's a child being born with the power of a god, which is something incredible that has happened in the kingdom of Zeno-sama, since this multiverse doesn't have a required level.
A guy with horns on a throne said nothing. Going back to Kakarot's training, one, despite using all the techniques, wasn't able to give a blow to Whis. Enough! Kakarot, you will train in an ultimate dimension on the sacred staff. You'll merge completely with the Ultra Ego, and when you're able to use your power, you'll grow incredibly.
In that case, I'm leaving for that dimension, Whis. Father, when I return, I want to have a confrontation again, as I feel your power has increased greatly.
When you come back, I'll master the essence of a god, and this time I'll be able to measure myself to you.
Please, Kakarot, just take care of yourself. Of course, Mom. Don't worry. We'll do all this with something, since it will be able to give us the best battle for the life of Mr. Beerus.
I'm sure Mr. Beerus will get a surprise, but Kakarot, it's time. This dimension will most likely be that his body will completely develop, and since an adult body is capable of storing more energy, Good luck.
Heh, I understand. Don't worry, I'm ready for anything.
Kakarot would enter, in which, when he entered, he felt his whole body have great pressure. While his body would grow, the dimension was the dimension of training a guardian angel. This level required was demanding, since no one except Beerus, the leader of the Supreme Gods, had been able to withstand it. I'm sure Kakarot can master that pressure. I want to know what my father's reaction will be when he learns there's another being that overcomes the power of a king. Returning to the dimension, after a few hours in which Kakarot had suffered an agonizing pain, almost close to death, he would stand up and realize his body had evolved. Since he was the adult version of it, a great power ran through his interior. I'm ready to master the energy of a god completely. I know I can beat Mr. Beerus. Kakarot would begin his rigorous training in order to surpass the leader of the Supreme Gods.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.
Black girl.